What is up, everybody? Welcome back. All I did was run back to the ship so that we could heal up, and then we're gonna jump on into the next part of our explorations. Yeah, let's go ahead. We have 4 now? Oh, yeah, we can go to the Martyr's Endurance. That's nice. Let's go head over to the atrium. Yep, looks like our party. To me. Sorry, guys. Coughs. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is sometimes. Load, you can do it. I'm so addicted to this. I have recorded so far in advance, but you know, it'll catch up eventually. Go ahead and save. Check out our map. All right, let's move on. Ooh, here we go. Immune to burning. Neat. All right, now don't fail this Imperium check, friends.
Ugh, damn it.
I said don't fail. These columns appeared here back when the station was founded, when it was assumed that Footfall would become a wondrous palace in the stars. Aw, how nice. What level? When do we level up again? Oh, 2000 XP. Well, 1800, but yeah. Basically 2000 XP. Turn off. You never know what could be off on the side streets. No. We won. Hit open that gate. Woohoo. We'll be going that way shortly, but not yet. I want to explore the long way first. Gunsmith's Guild. Interesting. Alright. So this leads to a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and go up instead. And we missed that. Let me guess. Yeah. No rulers needed, blah blah blah. And athletics to jump over, huh? Well, time to not fail.
I always get the job done.
You're so good at this game, Gregor. Commander's Monocle. Whenever an ally under the effect of the wearer's voice of command ability makes an attack during an extra turn, this attack deals an additional damage. Greatsword. 13 to 20? Well, hello there, amazing. How are you? Don't mind if I do equip you. Oh wait, I got another 13 to 20? Oh my god. Take this. On a critical hit, the sword inflicts +1 stack of laceration effect for each stack of laceration. All attacks of the sword against the same target deal 10% damage. And then this one is just a cool one. Let's swap, if you will, buddy. You can use that one. I'm gonna use this one. Now the thing is, you do voice of command, right? You do. Our Lord Warp right now is 61. If I do that, it's 55. You can always re-equip. If I can remember, we can re-equip it. We should keep the combat stuff on and then re-equip the Lord Warp stuff when we need to. What do we find? Awareness, 80%. The numerous wounds and injuries indicate that this was a particularly brutal murder. The letters A and V are carved into the victim's shoulder blade. Oh, so we just found a dead body. Nice.
I always keep my options open.
A body murdered. By the Anvers again, of course. Because why wouldn't it be? A lot of leaflets. Now is our time not theirs.
Keep your wits about you.
Perusian acolytes. One of many altars that looks better tended to than most places in Footfall. And some goods on the side here. Note from the lantern cache. You're on the right path, Seeker. Remember the place. Small quay, large windows. crash by the windows and the dock off a row. Well, dang it, now we gotta go back to the
Always
dock.
keep your eye on the price.
Dagnabbit. It's the Liege's Palace. We're not quite ready to go in there
There's no
yet.
door.
Not quite. Soon, though. Soon.
Is there money to be made?
Carnival Barker? Dreadful Xenos. Yaldere, behavior duplicitous. Aggressive. Habitat woods. Diet infants 2 to 3 a week. Fears the Emperor, righteous people. Oh my. The Xenos is the work of a not skilled surgeon. Oh, nice. Trukahara. Diet doesn't eat. Punish the Xenos a coin for a go. Sure, let's punish the enemies of humanity. So fake.
I always keep my options open.
The young man is clearly making every effort to look dapper. His fashionable clothes are practically new and his hair well groomed. What ruins his impression is the poorly scrubbed off oil stains from his leaky implant and the fit of the jacket, which was clearly made for someone else. Come one, come all, see for yourself the best collection of live Xenos Slender's Footfall. What kind of collection is this? Dangerous, vicious, ruthless xenobeasts, caught red-handed as they were attempting to commit evil against the Imperium, but right now they're harmless. Our cages can withstand their rage, but I wouldn't recommend getting too close. Those aren't Xenos, those are mutants in makeup. The man's smile dims, but only for a moment. Not Xenos, you say? I'm sure this was some mistake. I will check the shipping list myself, rest assured. His words are oozing with greenish yellow hues. I do not think the promise will be kept. Such entertainment is lucrative precisely because billions of Imperium subjects have never encountered a Xenos in their life. Ignorance and curiosity create colossal demand. That's what I was taught, and I can see the lesson was truthful. I demand the abuse be stopped and all the captives be freed. Apologies, sir, that is impossible. Private property, legitimate business, licensed by the Liege. Last but not least, it's a noble cause to help the citizens of Footfall foster a proper attitude toward the enemies of the Imperium. The guilty look, he makes a helpless gesture. I'll buy them from you. He thinks for a moment. That can be done, very much so. The entire collection will cost you tidy sum, but you're free to take them right away. I didn't even get an option on to see how much it would cost. Just that it costs. Well, dang. Well, I guess I'm 2 profit factor short now.
Rise to the
Well,
top.
my iconoclast went up. Yay.
Operation successful.
Good, I'm glad. No way, no leaders required. Never would have guessed that's what that was gonna say. More goods. Some more no leaders required. Yeah, well, there you go. Who would have thought? The wares are shoddy looking weapons built
Always
on
keep your eye on
questionable
the
parts. Uh-oh. Hey, Heronimus. A small food booth, the portions look meager. Stall selling old knickknacks for everyday needs.
Backup plan.
The buzzing crowd is closed in on several harried-looking individuals. Some of their faces are smeared with fresh blood. The angry cries and twisted faces leave no doubt a massacre is about to take place. Just cut their throats already. What are they thinking letting that ship dock at Footfall? They're all stricken. No, no cutting. We got their blood on us. We'll be tainted too. Better burn them. Be quiet, you scoundrel. A priest clad in simple black raiment cuts the crowd like a voidship crossing the sky. You dare pass judgment on others? What arrogance to think you have the right. Argento starts at the sight of the elderly priest. That's Reverend Hieronymus. I'm surprised he decided to intervene in a street squabble. What's going on here? And who are you supposed to be? I'm Gregor, rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. The rabble-rouser laughs uproariously. And I'm Incendia Chorda, cut the guff. Her ladyship Theodora is the head of the Von Valancius line, and I saw her with my own eyes when she came to Footfall, and you don't look much like her. Silence, you must be completely out of your minds. A band of woefully dim-witted reprobates who think themselves bringers of justice. Who are you to pass judgment on anyone? All you ought to be doing is suffering and repenting till the end of your days. What's so wrong about that, Reverend? We just want to put these heretics to death. We're not heretics, the haggard man is on verge of tears. We're refugees, I swear it on the Golden Throne. We served the Imperium faithfully until they hung us out to dry. Where were the protectors that were meant to shield the lands of humanity from nightmares? Traitors and heretics, the lot of them. A murmur runs through the crowd. The people gawk at you, at the priest, at the wretched group huddling in the center. How tiring. The motley sea of colors that fills the restless cloud is hard on the eyes. So many hues, most of them are acid yellow streaks of fear, their red buds swelling, ready to burst and paint all who are gathered here. Cassia looks at the crowd of troublemakers warily, and they shudder at her very sight. As for the hearts of those who have been forced to defend themselves, they are shrouded in the purplish black grief, but their words are as transparent as the ice that lies at the top of the glacier. Most commoners are always deaf to others' suffering, for such is their nature. Interfering in their affairs is hardly worthy of you or me. All onlookers are to return to their homes immediately. The refugees can go to the dock Alpha Row. I'll speak to you later. Comply or face the consequences. Please. Yes, the rabble-rousers look at you morosely. I don't think I want to get in trouble over this lot. The refugees use the interruption to make off in the direction of Alpha Row. Yay, we're definitely gonna have to go back there before we jump into the palace. Two things now we gotta check out. Heronimus. Doloroso, the arrogance and self-righteousness of a malefactor. The priest shakes his head disapprovingly, then he shifts his eyes to you. I am Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, head of the Drusian mission here on Footfall. Thank you for stepping in. Please come see me when you have time and we can talk. Aye, aye, Captain. Will do, boss, will do. But first, we have more area out here to explore. Like another 55% chance to nail it. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on is right. In this mishmash of devices and cables, you notice equipment from a totally different era. Some ancient, some merely old, and others hastily tossed together in more recent years.
Let us not dawdle.
Leaflet, now is our time. Oh my goodness, so many of these. Lore Imperium, please, 50% chance.
Oh, irony.
Why can we never hit the 50% first time? Why? This statue undoubtedly depicts prodigious Dwayne, the legendary rogue trader who founded Footfall. We won't say how many times that took, by the way. The sight of the cogitator would be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning forward slightly to one side, grimy, covered in scrawling drawings with frivolous writings scratched here and there on the casing. Several keys are missing, and the rest are coated with dust. Pascal's respirator lets out a mournful hiss before he says grimly, "The right of operation has been repeatedly and blasphemously violated, requesting the identification punishment of the deplorable acolyte entrusted with caring for the spirit animal. Let's try to repair it." After a series of creaks and groans, the cogitator's dusty screen lights up. On it are several lines of text, sections headings. Praise the Omnissiah. The machine spirit of this cogitator is aggrieved but willing to serve, accompanied by the crackling of binary prayers. Pascal's mechadendrites gently place a couple of keys lying on the floor back into place. Select the title Welcome. The screen flickers a few times before revealing the world of text in Low Gothic, and the name of the founder of the Footfall Station, Conqueror of Stars, Builder of Outposts, the noblest rogue trader, Parsimus Dwayne. On behalf of all of his descendants, I welcome you. This cogitator was installed on the order of the illustrious Parsimus so that the needy may tap into the flow of his wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections and choose what you wish to know. Parsimus Dwayne? I've never heard of such a rogue trader house. Whoever it was, he sure thought big. Lord Captain Parsimus Dwayne, one of the trailblazers of the Koronus Expanse and the station's founder. I've read about his great deeds. Lord Dwayne was once a colonel of the Astra Militarum, but by his will, later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Koronus Expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades, and Lord Parsimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned it into a bastion of humanity we know today. One is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Pleased with herself, Cassia nods slightly to everyone to let her know that her lecture is over. Text title about Footfall. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great Parsimus Dwayne as a palace of the stars, majestic as the spirit and the mind of its creator. As the year of this cogitator's installation, merely a small fraction of the great Parsimus's designs has yet been made a reality, but already their audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall is to become the gateway to the savage and barely explored Koronus Expanse, a footfall for the future conquest by the Imperium for the noble Parsimus Dwayne, who acts by the Emperor's will. The cogitator wheezes and blinks, clearly trying to shut down. Attempted emergency repair. Cogitator whirs and the screen turns back on. One of the first structures of Footfall was the colossal statue of the Emperor. A whole asteroid was used to create for the creation of this sculpture, but even its titanic proportions cannot convey the awe that every faithful servant of the Imperium feels before the master. The statue is the center of footfall and is in the same way that the Emperor is the center and the heart of the Imperium. As construction progresses, new smaller asteroids are being attached to the statue, their surface serving as the foundation for glorious palaces and temples, and their inner tunnels as home for the commoners and rabble. Parsimus Dwayne's design. Cogitator flickers and grunts before displaying a tapestry of text. The great Parsimus Dwayne intends to conquer the Koronus Expanse and build the most grandiose structure which will shine through gauges, praising the names of its creator and his descendants. Footfall, the palace and the stars. The glory of the great Parsimus's deeds will live on throughout the ages in his grand designs. The Cogitator hisses and grunts as if it's trying to clean its insides by spewing out dust and detritus through its cracks. The Cogitator hisses for a while, then the screen flickers and once more shows the word. The great Parsimus Dwayne intends to conquer. Pascal's Fox wheezes mournfully. The spirit of this machine is enraged and will perform its function no more. I will see to it that the profaners responsible for its maintenance are marked for servo penance. Well, you know, at least we got some information.
Is there money?
Some information is better than no information. We're gonna do the left side before we do the right side here. Now is our time, not theirs. Leaders no more. Rulers, blah blah blah. Select everything. And now we got this way to go up. Oh no, this is where we started. Okay, cool. Oh.
Rise to the
other
top
side then.
or get left in the dust.
It's actually a really big area if we can go all the way over there. Oh, we totally can. All right. Well, how you doing, bud? The man with the face so drawn it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bone fixes his unblinking bird-like eyes on you. The priest's simple black clothes have next to no adornments, and they do nothing to mask his unhealthy gauntness. In a cracked voice, he says, "The Emperor protects." The Emperor protects, Reverend, but he only protects those who are pure of heart. Do you think of yourself one of them? Be leery of this conviction of yours. Many who have risen to the pinnacle of faith have fallen from it into the embrace of pride most degenerate. And you must be the young von Valancius. That name carries weight, and it is a burdensome one, for its reputation suggests that Theodore encumbered it with many a transgression. I wonder, will you seek to shed them or you carry them onward, picking them along the way like ripe fruit and savoring their sweet poison? How do you know who I am? The Emperor has blessed me with acute hearing, and the people did the rest. How many members of your crew do you think came to confess the moment they arrived in port? How long do you suppose it took me to piece together the truth of their words? Or as I succeeded. The priest's voice is rasping and harsh, but you still manage to pick up the strange change in tone. There's something hidden behind his shift in speech, something that he did not consider necessary to explain. You're saying Theodore is a transgressor. A woman of great gifts, but few considered virtue to be one of them. People whispered that power had corrupted her, made her believe that she was entitled to anything she wanted. It is known that she showed cordiality to xenos, broke taboos, and violated dogmas. Then again, so did nearly all rogue traders. Rogue traders are the Emperor's anointed. I acted his command as evidenced by his signature on my warrant. And did he grant it to you personally? The Emperor is entrusted his servants with the future of humanity, but people are too weak and flawed to prove themselves worthy of his trust. Only suffering can cleanse us. But we fear it and thus must remain sullied. I'm not going to threaten the man. I do not wish to enter a debate with you. A predictable response. He looks at Argento, who is standing nearby, and his voice softens slightly. Greetings, sister. I congratulate you on your return. Was your pilgrimage fruitful? It was, Reverend. Let it be known to you that Theodora von Valancius' ship was attacked by servants of the arch-enemy, who appall the heart of any righteous soul. She says, nearly hissing with fury. And not all of them met a fitting end. Some fled, and more than that, their blasphemous words clearly pointed to this attack being part of a larger design. Reverend Hieronymus, I wish to join the esteemed rogue trader's crew and help protect the von Valancius dynasty from the forces of the arch-enemy. I'm divesting myself of the responsibility of guarding the footfall reliquary. So Sister Argento stood by my side during the assault on the ship, and I could use her assistance going forward. Heronimus nods in thought. Follow the call of your soul, sister. The footfall reliquary will be preserved even without your contribution, as it was in all the years preceding your arrival. He smiles sadly. I know what it is that calls you to follow the rogue trader, Sister Argento. You seek combat, for it helps you forget how hollow and worthless our lives truly are. It offers the illusion of meaning. Perhaps you will relinquish this illusion one day, or perhaps you will die before that day comes. Regardless, I wish you luck on your new path. Before you start on a path toward your destiny, I may have a request to make of you and your companion. Many among my flock are from the poorest, most disposed people on footfall. They've brought me troubling news from footfall's shadow quarters in the darkest corners where my liege's wardens do not venture, taint his taken root. Footfall is consumed by profanity, but even here, true heresy serving the arch enemy is a rarity. The cultists do not dwell in the shadow quarters, mark their abodes with sun inscribed in blue and gold, and perform their strange rituals and secrets. The weak find solace in believing these reports to be rumors, but I well know that evil lurks around all of us, and I seek retribution. I come across heresy surprisingly often these days. Indeed, dark times are upon us, and the wretched souls grow even more eager to embrace heresy, both on footfall and elsewhere. Its foul buds are coming into bloom. Troubling news is arriving from many planets. There are whispers of wicked things taking place on Kiavagama, and just recently, a transport ship by the name of Navica, teeming with refugees, arrived on footfall from Winterscale's realm. Their world was stricken with blasphemous sedition, and such was its severity that they had to flee to save themselves. The liege refused to accept them, and so they headed for Foulstone, a desolate cloister of the righteous. It was wise of them not to linger in this den of vileness. Why don't you go to the liege with this matter? Do not walk the paths pleasing to the liege. Heronimus frowns. Vladame is weak and riddled with worms on the inside. He seeks to please his Casbalica masters, those peddlers of relics and unholy xenos. We will verify this rumor, Reverend. With great pleasure. Argenta puts her hand in the stock of her weapon. I almost wish for the rumor to be true. My heart yearns to battle some heretics. This is where I bid you goodbye, sister. Noble Gregor, is there more you wish to ask me about? What are you doing on footfall? What am I doing in the den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest of souls, you mean to say? Well, footfall is the first and last stop in the Koronus Expanse. It is the point of arrival for all those who just started on their path, and is also where those who are reaching its very end return. Their souls wounded and bleeding, I embrace both the former and the latter so that they may cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from across the entire sector amass in footfall. If I hear crewmen whispering about reclaimed shrine world or expressing desire to carry the Emperor's light into the darkness among the stars, I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance, both spiritual and material. Tools, equipments, even garments, and simple everyday items. Anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey and during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. May any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed. The path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have lost his radiance, steeped in depravity. Blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void, and the warp and hopes of their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium's service. Heronimus is silent for a few seconds. And all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their mission. Footfall still awaits news from the Wasteland Wayfarer, an ancient ark of the ship headed for the distant stars. Her last astropathic message was sent from beyond the Sonorous Malfeasum, and the stars have kept her fate secret since. I bear another darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creatures of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you come upon your travelers, dangerous corrupted objects, bring them to me, and the reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Drusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader. Let's see what you got. Let me see. My medkits, thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of freaking stuff to spend. Condensed carapace, pretty good, pretty freaking good. And you want holy gifts, mostly. So, do we have any holy gifts that we want to give you? Just keep your eyes open, guys. Some right there. Some right there. That'll do for now. All right. More to talk with this guy. I have a question about faith. This is going to be a lot of reading, guys. My servant planted the seed of faith in the heart of another rogue trader once, Incendia Corda. Perhaps you're destined to become my second fledgling. Tell me more about the Emperor. You think it's so easy to put into words. His essence and splendor. The Emperor is the perfect deity that reads our hearts and grants us his light. He led humanity out of the darkness and horror. He created our great home. He experienced torment and pain, which only made him stronger. That is the lesson to us all. Purity is not to be found at the bottom of the dirtiest hive or in the golden palaces, but only among the ranks of those who suffer. Argenta silently makes the sign of Aquila, her bright eyes burning with the unyielding flame. What is the proper way to worship the Emperor? Pray to him, destroy his enemies and touch not their poisoned gifts. Cast aside all doubt and be vigilant against the weak souls beside you. When you see a sign of taint, burn it away without pity. Pain is good. It tears the crust of vileness from one's souls. It tears the crust of violence from one's souls. And you remember that if you see no fault in you or around you, that you're not being diligent enough in your search, or you're being too lenient on yourself, averting your eyes from the truth. The Emperor's servants, who are they? You speak of the Adeptus Ministratum. Well, these heralds of his word hold great power. Every priest, myself included, is part of its hierarchy, and the ecclesiarchy possesses the unique right to judge what is virtuous and what is malign. The Adeptus Ministorum, look, I think it's Ministorum actually, prays and cares for the temples. It sends missions, such as my own, to every corner of the dominion of humanity. It fights against heresies. I imagine it's very advantageous for the ecclesiarchy to pose as a congregation of saints. Forgive me for not buying any of it. Sorry! And rightly so. The ecclesiarchy harbors plenty of covetous and power-hungry rectivists. They've forgotten what it means to be a shepherd. They've grown soft and sluggish. For too long have their souls and bodies gone without suffering. Many of you would consider your remarks with the ecclesiarchy to be heretical, and many others would find them truthful. I'm a preacher of radical teaching that renounces fear. I've left the bounds of the blessed Imperium to carry his light into the darkness of the frontier. I've come to know depravity firsthand, and now I'm able to perceive it under any guise. I think I can afford myself a modicum of truth. Who is the enemy of the Imperium? It has three faces: the inhuman xenos, who wish death upon us simply because they are unlike us; the pitiful subhuman mutants, abominations that wish death upon us because they envy us and are ashamed of themselves; and the arch enemy that reigns the Imperium and wishes death upon us by its very nature. Adira starts giggling at Heronimus's words. He forgot to mention people like me. My whole life, people told me I'm filth on the face of humanity. It's poison, it's bane. She stops abruptly with a sob. Tell me more about Insignia Chorta. Have you heard of a Spice Chorta, pirate, blasphemer, xenophile, and egregious apostate? Incendia is her heir and is a rarity among rogue traders. The protection of the Holy Warrant typically leads to a swift atrophy of conscious and pious dread, but not in Incendia's case. She relentlessly hunts down pirates and firebrands and brings rebelling colonies to repentance, establishing strict discipline. The weight of her wrath is great indeed. The colonies she punishes are girded with orbital rings of heretical corpses as a warning to the survivors. As her personal confessor and guide, I find no end to the joy her triumphs and faith bring me. Since when is orchestrating massacres a sign of virtue? They aren't massacres. There is a war on apostasy and treason, and in this war, Insignia Chorta is inflicting grievous wounds upon the wicked. Thank you. Think nothing of it. Tell me about yourself. Neither my past nor my present hold any secrets, but take heed when gazing into my heart, for many dark thoughts lurk within. What is troubling your heart? Bad omens. Dark times have come. Ships from the Imperium barely appear in the Koronus Expanse anymore. Footfall's shadow quarters, taint thrives, and people here are corrupt enough to succumb to it gladly. Rumors around the Expanse say that the accursed xenos have grown bold and are rearing their heads. They attack ships and settlements, walk under sons of Imperium worlds like kings instead of cowering in the shadows. What's next? What adversities await us if such disgrace is happening already? There's more and more talk about how poorly things are going in the Expanse. Some days it seems I can't take 2 steps without hearing some peasant pontificating on the matter. Even if I was as dire as they say, the Von Valancius realm will not crumble under the blows of fate, no matter how devastating. Shut up, Lord Captain. There's no time to lose heart and lament your lot. If I'm reading too fast, I'm sorry, I have to. Not only is your hope false, it's also dangerous. Among his servants, there have been people of greater integrity who sully themselves in the attempts to rise above the rest. Who were you in the past? A wretched fiend, blighted by my ambitions, I served in my home planet's Adeptus Administratum division. I was shrewd and sly bureaucrat, and I soared to great heights, to the very chair of prefect. In 30 years, I turned my home from a withered fringe colony to a prosperous world. Our wealth grew as we bloomed. But the bloom was veneer for rot. Opulence had depraved us, and luxury had seduced us with its sordid promises. The planet's denizens no longer wished to pray or work. They only sought entertainment and dangerous philosophies. 1,000 vile heresies and 1,000,000 appalling vices bred on my world like mold on a Nutribar. In those days, I saw in my open eyes the shameless ugliness of the soul that repented my hubris, left the position of prefect, and became a traveling missionary. I have been one ever since. As for my world, 20 years later, the Holy Inquisition consigned to purifying flames. The Emperor is merciful for allowing your chance at redemption. Who said I'd redeemed myself? I doomed an entire planet to degeneracy. Do you think a decade or 2 of wandering with a mission is enough to atone for that? No, I'm a poor excuse for a shepherd in his eyes. Your words about the past are drowned in murky hues of sickly green, and you talk about your present falls and gray flakes of ash upon your shoulders from your listeners. Sorrow truly weighs heavily upon you. Reverend. I'm going to say Reverend. And that is why the fire in your words is devoid of golden radiance. The faded flickers of teachings leave nothing but black soot on their souls. No more questions. Can we move this conversation? No, I'm going to take my leave. The Emperor protects. Alright, well, we can get up over here, but we're not going to yet. I am going to go check out the things in the dock before the end of the episode. And try not to die from reading so much. Ooh-wee. It's okay though, I'm enjoying my time. It's a lot to take in, but it's a fun lot to take in. So we need to find the people that we saved, and we need to find the...
Let us not door.
Cache. I'm thinking the cache will be over here. This is my guess. Told you. The answer is close, seeker. Remember the word, realizing. Remember the place, a tunnel in the shadow of a bridge in the shadow of a great statue. Cache in the old tunnel in the shadow quarters. We have to go to the old tunnel. I don't know where that's at, but okay. Are you guys gonna be by my ship? Or are you gonna be Galva Gamma refugees? There we go. The refugees from Galva Gamma are looking at you, some with apprehensive frowns, some with unconcealed gratitude. I need information on what happened on Kiava Gamma. How did you end up here? We told you everything back in the square. Things are rough on Kiava Gamma. There isn't even a Kiava Gamma anymore. The planet was attacked by a horde of heretics. They shouted unholy prayers and cut people down left and right. We heard everything from orbit, listening to one voxcast after another. We realized there wasn't anyone left to save, so we thought we'd run. But then it was like our crew went mad somehow. The captain smashes ahead against the cogitator, and so did half the officers. Everyone who survived did their best to steer the ship into the warp, and here we are. Only 3 ships made it out alive, one being ours. We don't know what happened to the other 2. They never made it to footfall. Maybe they disappeared in the warp, or maybe something else happened. Adira freezes, listening to something, then she blurts out in a changed voice. The first beast, its body wounded, crawled into a hole under the palace of an imminent lord. The second beast, its skin and ulcers, perished in an asteroid grave. The third beast, its essence cursed, is curled up in the glow of a yellow sun. What became of the ship you used to get here? It is property of the Von Valancius dynasty. Apologies, we couldn't save it. The ship was damaged during the escape. We're lucky it got us all the way to Footfall. It's at the far docks, but there isn't much use for it. It doesn't look like it's going to fly anywhere. The local recollegers have already removed some of the valuable parts. You can send your people to take apart whatever is left, scavenging up components. The map of the Expanse was revealed to me before the Sea of Souls roiled and tangled the paths. How did you, desperate ones, reach Footfall all the way from the Granitic system without a navigator? Frightened by Cassius' appearance, the refugees covered his face with terror, trembling violently. Please forgive my worthless words. We were feeling our way in the dark, you could say. All we had was some old maps. We prayed to the God Emperor day and night while our helmsman Paul allotted a course. A miracle, it must have been. You were hurling accusations at your masters. It's a sign of treason and must be punished accordingly. Do you realize this? One by one, the refugees followed their knees. Please have mercy. A few idiots shouted some things, that's all. We shut them up ourselves already. It was the grief and fear talking. Please don't punish the rest of us. Pascal's voice sounds impassive and cold. Vituperation directed at the Adeptus Mechanicus was likewise registered. Denial is meaningless. You are pardoned and may board my ship and continue to serve the Von Valancius dynasty. Praise be the Emperor. We're saved and pardoned. We'll do as we're told. We won't say another word. Good, good. Now, you said at the far end there was a ship. Did I actually get anything off of this? Doesn't appear like it. Well, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. We're going to be going back to the area with the palace and unfortunately picking it up next episode because that's just how it is at the moment. So many things going on there, but back to the atrium. But that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.